Welcome to Skypodcast.
Brought to you by Anchor. The contrast.
I'm a working girl, and you're a working hubs
working
from home. You're a working from home.
Anyway.
Today, love, we have a letter from the sky.
Yes.
And this is something that I can relate to. Tell me if you can relate to it too.
Okay.
So yung title niya is it normal to constantly lie to my parents? Not that I'm a liar, but hear me out.
We have to be careful what we recommend on this letter. Kasi baka after sila Scott
They will listen to this.
Sila.
They're like, Mom, I know what you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so sabi niya, I'm a third-year college student. Basically, I grew up in a really strict household where I was not allowed to go home late or party at night or even drink with my friends. At 21, I still haven't experienced partying, having late-night jams with my friends. I need to be home by 8 p.m. I'm not allowed to go out without someone picking me up from home. I'm not allowed to wear crop tops because it's too revealing. Hello. And the list goes on. Because of this, I honestly feel the pressure now that I'm entering my 20s. I feel really left behind when I see my friends. Hindi ako nagrereklamo, but I just want to feel a little bit of freedom man lang sana. I am worried that I might feel culture shock if mag-work ako outside our city because sa totoo lang, ang daming bawal sa akin nung teenage years ko. Dahil dito, I've lied to my parents for so many times already, as in a lot, sobra. I can no longer count the number of times I've lied to them ever since I was in high school. Some of my friends tell me i-confront ko daw yung parents ko. But I don't have the guts to do it because I don't want to start an argument with them. Do you think I'm doing the right thing by lying rather than just confronting them?
There's a study though that lying from a toddler's perspective or a child's perspective is the first sign of independence. So
From a toddler's perspective.
Like pag nagsisimula na yung anak mo mag-lie, it's a sign that they're slowly parang being their own person.
They don't have to follow you na all the time.
Or parang they have their opinions na.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and mas alam na nila yung, okay, I'm actually lying. Na, so, this is something that mommy doesn't want. So, But that's for the very bata.
Okay.
But, we were talking about this with your brother yesterday.
Okay.
I was asking him a lot of questions about his mga teenagers. And parang, hey, what do you think of being in a bubble? Yung nilalagay mo yung anak mo sa isang medyo high-end na school and then them being exposed to the same kind of people.
Yeah.
Instead of the people from all walks of life. What do you think of what will happen when you push them out to college and sila na bahala sa life nila or where they live in a different part of the world or even from Cebu to Manila.
Basically, if you stick them in a bubble, they're only used to this aspect of life. But once they get out of that bubble and live on their own and they're exposed to all the other aspects of life, what will happen?
What will happen? Baka mag-wild yun bigla. Kasi yung
culture shock.
Yung school nila ngayon medyo it's very controlled, I would say.
It's a controlled environment. Yeah.
Konti lang sila and very strict. I would say, 'di ba? Parang strict naman sila. So sa amin kasi when I was growing up and your brother as well, pareho kami na school. And yung school na yun had a lot of kids and from all different walks of life. At that time, it was like one of the biggest schools here in Cebu. And parang you'll have people na grabe talaga yung mga experiences. Which was a debate with us. Like, would you rather put your kid in a school wherein these things might happen? Or would you rather them be safe? And may pros and cons pa rin, di ba?
Yeah.
Like, kahit anong gagawin natin as parents, most of the time, they will be with their friends. They will be with their peers. And especially on a school day, they'd be spending more time with their friends and their peers than us.
Yeah. Basically, what Slater and I discussed before, and wala pa kaming napiling tamang path, parang we're still discussing it, is we know that the world is a scary, dangerous place. And we know like these places exist. Like let's say a big school with all different kinds of people, different walks of life, different values yung parents nila, different values yung classmates nila. Let's just say, yeah, okay, we don't want to put our son in a bubble so that he can experience from the onset how it is to live in the real world and he can easily adapt to other people as he grows older.
Yeah.
But what if he gets mixed up with the wrong crowd? And then there's an argument na, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, it depends on your upbringing at home. But also, like we can only do so much. The peer pressure is real. The pressure to fit in is real. We don't know what goes on in majority of the day that they're away from the house, right? So it's a little bit scary and we don't know exactly ano yung tama, ano yung mali at this point.
Eto, matanong ko sa'yo. Do you believe that kahit there's all these temptations, if you are a good parent, if you raise your kid with good values, hindi sila matatempt?
I believe that there is only so much you can do as parents. Yes, you can try your best to raise them with good values, but they will still follow their peers. Like for example, sa letter sender natin, di ba? Parang yung parents niya put her in a bubble because very strict sila, bawal mag-crop top, bawal lumabas past 8 p.m. yung curfew niya. And I was the same when I was growing up. My parents were super duper strict. Bawal ako lumabas sa gate ng school even to buy squid balls. Like bawal. I mean, I understand where my parents were coming from.
Yeah.
I understand where her parents are coming from. But even if she was raised in that environment and she knows the values that her parents taught her, probably na-explain sa parents niya kung bakit ganon, still, she feels pressured by her peers. She feels left out. She feels like, why are all of my classmates allowed at ako lang yung hindi? Diba? I was not completely honest to my parents growing up. I really feel for the letter sender because I feel like it's the exact same as what I went through, which is why I picked it in the first place. I'm like, oh my God, is this me writing a letter to the sky? I want to go back to my experience when I was younger. My parents were super duper strict with all of my siblings. And I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
So parang naka-carry over lang. I mean, my eldest siblings had it the worst. Like I remember to go to the mall with their friends, they would have to ask my parents a month in advance. And then, may yaya na nakasunod, nakabantay. Parang ganun yata, hindi ko na maalala. Basta something extreme, diba? And tiniis lang ng mga kapatid ko. But me, being the black sheep and the rebel of the family, di ako papayag ng ganun. So, I did lie to my parents a bunch of times. They've caught me a bunch of times. I was peer pressured and I did feel like, hey, I'm getting good grades. I'm a good kid. I'm not doing drugs. I'm not even drinking. All I want to do is have a sleepover at my friend's house. Or like, all I want to do is go to the mall and take a photo with my friends. Because at that time, ang uso sa school namin was to go to like a Kodak or a Picture City or whatever and have a studio pic with your friends. And then the next day in school, it's like, it was cool in school to have that studio pic. And then parang proof siya na, uy, we went out, we had fun on a Saturday, we went out by ourselves, ganon. And I never had that. And I remember like, parang there was no conflict of values naman. I didn't see anything wrong with going out on a Saturday afternoon with your friends at a dessert cafe, you know what I mean? And having a photo taken, but I was never allowed. So parang yung feeling ko is, I want to be one with my peers, I want to be one with the people of my age, and my classmates that I spend most of my time with. But then at home, hindi ako pinapayagan, but I don't understand why. So I think here, what I was too scared to do, which now, in hindsight, this is what I would have done, and also what I want Scotty to do, if ever this happens to him, is be open with me. And I know it's not going to be taken the way you want it at first. Like, I'm so sure that if I told my parents, Mom, I'm a good kid, I'm ganito, I'm ganyan, why don't you let me out? There's nothing wrong. I'm sure she's going to be defensive and say, no, it's not you that I trust you, of course, but I don't trust the people. I know. But I feel like I could have done something more than just lie automatically. Like, I could have said, Mom, can you give me a chance to try it out so that I can experience it? Talk in a language that they will understand more. And now I know, now saying that, it's because as a parent, I know what I want to hear from my child. So impossible, I think, for her at this point to know what her parents want to hear. But I feel like the conversation is a good conversation to have. Even if they still say no, it's planting the seed. And then you can ask again in the future. You can ask again, Mom, can I try? Or Mom, what if I do this? Can I try? Because if you just keep it to yourself the whole time, na parang tinitiis mo lang the whole time, your parents will never know that it's eating you up inside. And that's what I felt before. Like, they never knew that I really wanted to go out. They didn't understand the gravity of what that felt to me. If you guys want to hear the full episode, you can
Check us out on Spotify.
Spotify.